Hey guys, welcome back to the Dion Gaming channel. Today we're going for the third video of this series of breaking down videos. We broke down the one with Lupac versus the Greater Nature in the DPS. We broke down the one with 5v12. We broke down the one with Russian right here. Please, the Russian being a god tier healer, and now which is on development on the editing, and we're now gonna break down the 1v7 Jonah Veil, the King Rat King. Now, here's the thing: is when you see a title 1v7, 2v7, 3v7, the first thing you click on it is because you expect one player versus all of them, and either winning or taking down some of them with them before they die. For example, if you were to see a squad, say we have 20 versus 60 or 50 versus 100, whether they win or lose, you're interested in seeing that kind of outcome on the fight. But if you see something like we're about to see, it is not really 1v7. And there's people defending it to the bone on Discord, which I had to explain them slowly. No, it's not 1v7. It is literally technically 2v7, but the boss is actually the one doing the majority of the damage. So technically, it's not literally 1v anything. It's just you outplaying them. So the title should have definitely been changed to I outplayed 7 players. That would be the best title, but of course, you have to be clicky baits in YouTube to get views and content in your content. So now we're about to break that, and we're also going to break another one that copies the Jonah Veiled, who, again, when a player says something, they believe it. We're also going to go for this one, which is called the 1v4. Now, slowly, let's enter to the video and skip it to the point of where the fight starts, because all this is running. And as we go forward, here's where it actually starts. Now the players, the Rat King goes right behind. I'm gonna call him Rat King because that's what everybody's call him. I can call him Lady of the Lake. Yeah, I like that better. It sounds like a better name. The Lady of the Lake actually hits back to the chest because he wants the player to fall for aggroing the main boss. Now, he wasn't able to aggro. It obviously means that they shouldn't be able to aggro it, but when players are a little bit newbie, no offense to the EOS, but when players are a little bit newbie, they do tend to fall for these little tricks. He sees them coming, he uses his armor, and he's ready. Now, the boss is already on the healer. The worst thing that could happen. The best thing that could happen is one of them should have taken the boss as an aggro. The healer should have focused on them because they didn't have to worry about 2 DPS versus one healer. Or again, purge would have worked, but I'll say this later. Again, the boss is on them. It doesn't matter how much damage dots they do, because right now the bow has dots, but it doesn't really matter because the player has living armor on himself. He can get stunned, he can get hit. It doesn't really matter. He's still going to be able to heal himself nicely. Once it procs down, as the healer over there is about to get smacked because he cannot heal himself through the boss. Once he gets down, again, he runs out, and again, right at the, what is it, 40%, 25%, 30%, like around there, he's about to pop his undead cloak, which can still use ability, and boom, there it is. He still has a dot on himself, which if he used living armor during this time, he would have been able to heal through the dot, but it doesn't matter because he's gonna get it. Again, no one is tanking the boss with the healer, and that is a problem. Queen of Pain actually aggroed some of the players because he thought he was going to be forward, but again, he went to the left side. The boss is now on the tank. The tank will not be able to survive this or kill Lady of the Lake soon enough because Lady of the Lake has living armor again. Boom! And because there is 2, and about to be probably 3, because there is already 2 stack of poison, that is going to super heal him. Super heal him. Look at that. So much heals because of that. Now, what would have happened if the Lady of the Lake had the boss on him? It doesn't matter if he had living armor, he would have died because the ball hit humongous damage on the player, especially on the cloth. Now, well, he has a leather on him. He still would have hit just as hard because the leather is not so much high in armor. So he would have definitely died with the boss. But again, he has invisibility on the ambush, and he does had his undead cloak, which he procced to survive to get away from the boss. Again, during this time, all you needed is one thing. One little thing is all you needed, and that is purge. You could have used a fiend cow or a mage robe if the player is attacking you. Since right now, at the moment, all he's doing is pretty much running away. As you see, oh, if he attacks through that one right there, that definitely would have taken away his leaving armor. But again, the player is an old player, I think, I would expect, and the player is just a little bit smart, so he knows he would have not done any of that. He would have been healed. A fiend cow would have purged that. A black hand would have purged that. Their arcane staff would have purged that. You always have to bring something that purge. If you don't do that, then you're going to fall for this stupid trickery. Again, he has. Queen Pain is now with the boss. Now there's more players, obviously. We have a 3D DPS on himself, but all he needs to do is last long enough to use the Greater Nature. Again, ambush. He's running away. He's running away. Now he runs to the right. He runs away. He has the Greater Nature. He can cast it anytime he wants. And if he does, he's basically going to start healing. There it is. So now he comes back because they're still on the boss. My goodness Lord, why they didn't run away from the boss? Okay, whatever. With a 2-second cast, he got interrupted, and he wasn't able to do it again because the mob would have definitely interrupted him. Lucky save for him. Now he's trying to fight the player again. He's going from behind. Watch very closely. He's trying to kite. He knows he can't go to the boss because he doesn't have invisibility to push him towards him. So now we have this guy came out of nowhere with the flame, with the Spectre Flame and the spin to win. Now when he does that, he does Greater Nature and pushes them back with a knockback. When doing this, of course, now he doesn't have to worry too much because that flame that Spectre is doing is actually healing him. He's not taking damage. Again, when the great living armor is knocked down and it is already gone from him, he has to run away, far away, because he can't take the fight. Again, the guys aggro the boss, and the boss finishes him off. Here comes the first execute, but nope, he gets interrupted. Now he runs to the corner, living armor again. Nothing you can do because you don't have any purge. Pushes him into the boss. Easy going for that. See, again, this is not a 1v7. There's no way this healer would have killed any of them. It is actually outplaying them. He outplayed 7 players in here who could have easily, and I mean easily, been able to kill him if 2 reasons. They had a purge or they coordinate. Tank the boss. I'll heal you. DPS, focus on Lady of the Lake. Easy kill, but no, and they definitely deserve the loss. Maybe next time they will actually learn not to do that. So again, there's a little couple things going on in here with the execute. They lose big gear. It's their fault. They deserve it because of what just happened. Now he's actually 1v1. Let me tell you something. When you 1v1 a player, a Greater Nature, and you have dots on you, if they use leaving armor, you can't 1v1 a player. The player can still go go behind here and push him against the boss, but once he has leaving armor, he has shit damage. There's no way you're gonna be able to beat him. So again, he gets a little friend, try to drop the aggro behind, but he can easily go up here and push him into the boss and finish them off with that, because there's no way, there it is, there's no way you can actually 1v7 as a Greater Nature. So again, this fight pretty much goes on longer and longer. 1v1 cannot be done with a Greater Nature unless you have a purge. You need to purge that leaving armor. That's all it takes. So again, many people, if you actually go to the comment, many people start going crazy because of this and saying, oh, you're a pro player, stuff like that. Well, yes, you're a pro player for outplaying them, but you're not a pro player for 1v7 because it's not 1v7. Easy way to kill him is to either let the tank focus the boss and the healer heals the tank and all the DPS kills the healer, or during the time that he's doing leaving armor, purge it, because now he has to run very, very far away or die. there's a video how to kill a healer, which I will be posting it below for those who actually don't know how to actually kill a healer. The answer is simple, just in case. It is purge, or it is the type of weapon that you use. Now we're actually going to go and enter the 1v4 rat. Now it doesn't say rat king because he's not a rat king and he's not the player, the rat player, living lady of the lake, something like that. No, I forgot the name. So when we look down, we look at the little comment to see if there's anything. There's nothing, and there's about 1 like and 5 dislike, and about 111 views during this. So that we can tell that this player is actually one of the players who actually sees a video, sees it's impressive, and then copies the build and tries to replicate the same thing. And obviously, because the other player called it, the Rat King called it 1v7, the player believes it is 1v4. This is actually one of the players that I went and taught on the game and helped on the game during the time that I was helping players on Discord. This is also the same player who challenged me in a 2v2 fight. So what happened was, during the 2v2 fight, let me give you a little story. What happened was that the player saw I build for the curse staff and the healer, and during that time the player was actually winning a lot of Hellgates and got a little bit cocky, like most sometimes PvP players. There are cocky players and not cocky players. This is one of them, basically, who are cocky. I don't mean to offense or anything like that, or diss the player or anything like that, but the player was very cocky and challenged me and my partner in a 2v2, which I had to wait a whole day of pretty much a bunch of love to meet you in Hellgate, will be lovely loot, easy, all that stuff. And you can actually read it over here, pretty much saying that he was going to take our loot and pretty much beat us. What happened during it is that we actually found out that the Hellgate, the type of builds that they use during the Hellgate, as you see, let me actually go a little bit further right. Yeah, it's on the left. Sorry, it's on the left. They're on the left. Sorry about that. They have a curse stat. They go in 4.1 or tier 4. And the healer, I fast forward a bit. The healer actually goes in 4.1 as well. So it's the same type of gear. However, oh, there it is. The healer died here. No, that's not him. It's a robot. Again, anyway, the healer was using the same build that I use, which I do teach it in my Discord when I was during that time. Basically, they were in low gear, and we go in our basic form of what is it called? We go in 4.2 to Hellgate. Whether win or lose, we go a little bit higher. During that time, they went ahead and they changed. As you see, Catherine, they changed their gear a bit higher. Because obviously they wasn't going to be able to beat us in low gear. So during that fight, they went a bit higher. Again, we killed both of them, and I forgot to record it, which I was a little bit angry if you hear it. Actually, post this right here. Hear it. I forgot to record it. I got real pissed. But down here, we got Catherine already defeated, and now it's just the healer with cleric robe and stuff like that. And later on, he pretty much dies. We almost got an interrupted fight during this time, which we told him chill. This is a 2v2 only, and this is the reason why player goes to Hellgate, because there are assholes out there who won't allow us to do a 2v2 normally. The players try to like hit him, so I do a fear to push him away and then try to finish him off. Obviously, it was just a healer. He would have died anyway. He's a good learning healer, and he's actually not the cocky type of player. But again, we finished the player, and again, I get in Discord saying for the player that can a healer 1v7, 1v4, or something like that, and I'm just like, in a real fight, no, you cannot 1v7 or 1v4. In a cheating fight, such as using a mob, which that's what I said, yes, you can. Then he posted the video of 1v7, and I told him that is not 1v7, which was the Rat King, and then he posted his video, and basically this is what happened. He tries to copy the same thing, which is basically use the mobs during it and use living armor, and pretty much, you know, the mob is actually AoEing and focusing the other caster, which at the moment I don't see any heal, so the guys are going to be in trouble when he's invisibility, because he aggroes all the mobs. Again, during this fight, if you actually go through it all, it's just him using living armor, try to escape the mobs from the damage and allowing the other players dying by the mob. So that's is basically his 1v4. He pretty much copied the 1v7. Again, I had a bit discussion with the player, and I told him that no, this is not a 1v4 yet. He was very stubborn in saying, hey, I don't care what you say, this is actually a 1v4. He already showed on Rat is 1v7. See, that's the problem when you suck dick too much on a big higher player. You tend to believe everything that higher player posts, and that is the clickbait. No, this are not 1v7. No, these are not 1v4. You're pretty much outplaying players, and that's it. And these players are not pro players because they wouldn't fall for this. Pro players or mid-good players would have literally had a purge on you, or they wouldn't attack you during the time that you have greater the living armor, or they wouldn't fall for something as stupid as trying to get baited into all these mobs and keep fighting you. No, they wouldn't. So basically, it's pretty much players full outplaying newbie players in the end. So the conclusion of this is that no, there is nothing special here. There's just being outplayed, being pushed into mobs, and there's no 1v7 or anything like that. There's nothing big like that. It's just players outplaying other players, and most likely just outplaying newbies. Thank you for sticking tuned on it, and that will be the last one for this one because I don't see any more out video with clickbait titles and such. Again, for the one with 5v12, that's not a clickbait. Just to tell you, just to put that ahead of time. If you see the video about the players who did 5 versus 12, that's not actually clickbait. They did battle them, even though the other players were wearing hardly any faction cape, and were pretty much newbie in PvP fame. Like they were like 62k, 10k, or like really low. They were literally newbies and stuff like that. It's still a 5v12, but it was just pretty much they got wrecked by players who knows how to fight versus players who were newbies. Thank you for sticking into the channel. Have a good day.